When it comes to purchasing a new watch, it's important to do your research and ensure that you're getting a timepiece that meets your needs and expectations. While there are plenty of high-quality watches available on the market, there are also some that you may want to avoid. These watches may be poorly made, unreliable, or simply not worth the price tag. Learning more about these watches is important so you can make an informed decision and choose a timepiece that you'll be happy with for years to come. Welcome to another episode of The Steady Ticker. Do you have a soft spot for watches? Subscribe now to The Steady Ticker and click the notification bell to keep posted on latest news on different luxury watch brands and its industry. We create contents on trivias, intricacies, history, and anything under the weather about luxury watch brands and their models. Today's video will let you take a closer look at 10 types of watches that you may want to steer clear of. One of the most obvious watches to avoid in this list is replica or fake watches. Although some people may be tempted to purchase these types of watches, it's strongly advised to refrain from buying them for several reasons. Firstly, it's a trademark infringement where the authentic watch's design and brand is copied and the brand logo or trademark are used to claim it as your own, which is illegal. Manufacturing, selling and distributing or transporting counterfeit goods is illegal in the United States, and this offense can lead to fines, jail time and litigation. Even in other parts of the world, it's not something that should be taken lightly. Secondly, owning a fake watch is like lying to yourself every day. It doesn't give you the sense of ownership, and it's not a genuine representation of who you are. For the same amount of money, you can get a real watch with its own identity, which will give you more peace of mind and allow you to interact and be an individual genuinely. It's important to avoid replica watches and invest in a genuine timepiece that reflects your style and personality. Next, homage watches. Homage watches are timepieces that imitate the design elements of popular luxury watches but are typically sold at much lower price points. While they may look similar to their expensive counterparts, homage watches are not considered original creations and are often viewed as knockoffs. They do not offer the same level of craftsmanship, quality of materials, or value as their genuine counterparts. Additionally, some people may view the purchase of homage watches as unethical or dishonest, as it implies the ownership of a luxury watch without actually paying for it. Therefore, it's generally recommended to avoid buying homage watches and instead invest in original timepieces that provide better quality, value, and sense of authenticity. Another kind of watches that you need to avoid are marked up watches. Paying significantly more than the retail price for a watch may be acceptable for limited or discontinued editions, but 3 to 5 times retail price is unreasonable. Spending hundreds of thousands on a watch that retails for tens of thousands is scary. Removing the hype surrounding certain watches can reveal better value for money. Patience is crucial when buying watches. Waiting for the right opportunity can result in better decisions and payoffs. When starting a watch collection, it's best to avoid buying from unproven startup brands. These brands lack a track record in watchmaking and may be solely focused on making a quick profit rather than producing a quality product. While some of these brands may market aggressively on social media or other platforms, it's important to do your own research and cross-check reviews and feedback from other buyers. If you can't find any evidence of other people owning or reviewing the brand, or if the brand seems to be a copycat of an already established and reputable brand, it's likely best to steer clear. Instead, opt for established and well-respected brands that have a track record of producing quality timepieces. This way, you can be confident in the investment that you're making and the value you're getting for your money. Next off, the fashion brands' watches. When starting a watch collection, it's important to choose brands known for their quality and expertise. Established watchmakers that offer watches that are both stylish and engineered for specific functions, unlike fashion brands like Guess, Gucci, Versace, and Lacoste, which often prioritize aesthetics over function. Moreover, watches from fashion brands may come with inflated prices that don't reflect the quality of the materials or the movement inside, while watchmakers like Hamilton, Seiko, Oris, and Orient offer a range of watches at various price points to ensure the best value for your money. When considering purchasing a watch, it's important to be cautious of those being sold for very low prices. There are several reasons why this might not be a good idea. Firstly, there's a high risk that the watch is a fake, as counterfeit watches are a prevalent issue in the industry and are often sold at prices that seem too good to be true. These fake watches may resemble the real thing, but are made with poor quality materials and lack the same level of craftsmanship as genuine watches. Secondly, a watch being sold for an unusually low price may have hidden damages in the movement that aren't immediately noticeable. These could be the result of poor maintenance or previous repairs that were not done correctly, and they could be expensive to repair or even make the watch unusable. Therefore, it's advisable to invest in a watch from a reputable brand that has a good track record of quality and craftsmanship, instead of going for a watch that is being sold for a very low price. Brands such as Seiko, Hamilton, Oris and Orient offer a wide range of watches at different price points that are known for their durability and accuracy. Spending a little extra on an authentic watch from a reputable brand is always a better option than risking a cheap knockoff or a damaged timepiece that may not last long. It's advised to stray away from expensive watches that will hurt your wallet big time. When buying a watch, don't put a financial burden on yourself. It's important to prioritize more serious things in your life before spending money on a watch. Watches are meant to be worn and experienced, not to cause buyers remorse or financial hardship. Before buying a watch, consider whether you can afford it and whether it will impact your livelihood. Be responsible and thoughtful in your purchases, and remember that life is about playing against instant gratification. Hyped watches should also be avoided. A very important note, it's not necessary to own a hype or iconic watch if you don't genuinely care for it. As an enthusiast or a collector, there are no prerequisites to owning a watch. People may say that you need to own an Omega Speedmaster or a Rolex, but that's not necessarily true. It's more important to own watches that you genuinely like and enjoy wearing, regardless of their popularity or price point. This applies to affordable watches as well, as it's easy to get caught up in the hype and feel like you need to own certain models. Ultimately, you should only invest your money in watches that bring you joy and satisfaction. To avoid getting sidetracked from your goal of owning a specific watch, it's important to resist the temptation of purchasing alternatives that are not fully there or not trying to be a true substitute. Although watch collecting can be like life, where delaying instant gratification is necessary to achieve a goal, many collectors make the mistake of overlooking how smaller purchases can add up. Instead, exercising patience and waiting for the real thing is crucial for a more fulfilling and appreciative transaction. There are no shortcuts when going after a goal, and owning the watch that you have your eyes set on will bring the most joy and fulfillment. If you're looking to build a timepiece collection, it's important to focus on the value that the watch holds for you personally, rather than solely on their investment potential. While there may be some models that appreciate in value over time, the majority of the watches will depreciate. Additionally, trying to flip watches for a profit can create barriers to acquiring future models and can be challenging when it comes to actually selling the watch and getting a return on your investment. Instead, focus on purchasing watches that you truly love and appreciate for their craftsmanship, design and history, and enjoy the collection as a hobby rather than a business venture. Choosing the right watch can be a daunting task, especially with so many options available on the market. However, by being aware of watches that have reputations for poor quality or unreliability, you can avoid wasting your hard-earned money on a watch that won't meet your expectations. Remember to do your research, read reviews, and invest in a timepiece that meets your needs and budget, and you'll be sure to find a watch that you'll enjoy for years to come. Have you purchased a certain kind of watch on this list? Let us know your experience and tell us why you think it should be avoided by leaving a comment below. Want to hear more about watches? Hit the subscribe button below to support the Steady Ticker channel and click the notification bell to instantly know about our new videos on luxury watches. See you in the next one.